National Archives, even from Australia War Memorial and all that. Yeah.
Okay. So if by limitation of budget, we want to have a better scene. Is that why you choose to,
well,
actually have a full-fledged, machine gun bearing and all that kind of
yeah. No, actually, that was the idea of interviewing someone, and the idea in the first person, and the idea of using sort of animation to tell the story of the fighting, was an initial decision and early decision at an initial stage, rather than something that came because of budget. Because the whole point was, I've been watching a lot of war films and all that, but I wanted to make a war film, not a war film. That's the whole point. Well, didn't look like one, sort of,
without the battle scenes is not really a war film, but more inquiry and history, right? Still no questions?
It's just a very straightforward question. Where did you find the photograph?
The photograph of the British and Japanese soldiers. Okay, that one, the story is one of the books, Singapore Burning, by Colin Smith. Singapore Burning, yeah. I read that book, and I chanced upon that photograph in the sort of, in the section of the book where they had all the archive photographs and all that. And I approached Colin Smith, the author, and I asked him, like, where did you get this photo from? And he said it was from Mainichi Shimbun. The photograph is undated, but it was 1942. Sorry, the only date that was there was 1942 and Singapore. And British soldiers exchanged courtesies with, Japanese soldiers exchanged courtesies with British soldiers in Singapore. So I checked with Mainichi Shimbun, yes, they owned it. So Japanese friends sort of helped me gain the rights for it. And then I double checked with sort of our history consultant in the NUS, Professor Brian Farrell. And he sort of, he's saying that's interesting, but he sort of slightly dismisses it as propaganda as well. Quite a lot of other people have been saying, like, oh yes, it's sort of during the honeymoon period, but it's the when sort of Japanese soldiers British soldiers didn't understand the atrocities that the Japanese soldiers did just prior to the surrender. So yeah, answer your question, it's from the Mainichi Shimbun. Yeah. I think the point, the whole debate about the photo itself was very important to me at that stage.
Okay, Hush Baby. Process. Maybe you can share with us a bit of
the making of
it.
Well, there are three parts of Hush Baby, the live action photos, which is called pixelation, taking of live action subjects in a stop frame by frame technique. That's pixelation. I did that in 2007 during one of the holidays. And then 1 year later, I did the 2D drawings, and then for the final semester of my school, I composited them together and brushed out the sounds and all that. Yeah.
And how long is the whole thing?
If I condense everything together, it would take 4 months. That is working full-time Monday to Friday and all that. But in reality, it took about 2 years in between school assignments and tests.
Yeah. Actually, in my personal thing, reminds me of Chuck Jones's Duck Amuck, the one he played with Daffy Duck. It has that kind of a, and it's just a smaller version of that, I think. Yeah. Anybody else has any questions for filmmakers? Okay, I'll round up. Why don't each of you all tell us what's your next project, what you're going to do next? For one.
Next one is probably something that concerns the 1970s in Singapore. It's probably something about how close we came to war. It's along the lines of that. It's probably the confrontasi. It's probably something else. I can't be sure right now. It's kind of up in the air. But we started sort of pre-interviews with people and all that. Yeah.
Currently, I'm studying in NAFA, taking my BA in Fine Arts. So, embarking into experimental film. So, I'll be experimenting things with film.
Can promote a bit. We've just finished our last Forgotten Malayan. If you guys have watched it in YouTube, we remade Forgotten Malayan in 2006, and we remade it in 2009, and it's screening at Valentine Really Fine Art Gallery until the 30th of August, I think. So please do check it out. Other than that, both of us are back in school, so homework rushing us out.
Hello, yeah, I don't have anything planned for the rest of the year because I'm quite tied up with school. But I'm Philip, the cinematographer, my friend, and a few classmates. We did a film called Mickey. It's about mouse and astronauts and stuff. And hopefully you can watch it maybe next year or something. Yeah.
I'm currently working on this animation short film called Fairies. It's about a little girl running around in a hospital. It's supposed to be my graduation film, and it is about my mother, but she passed away during the last year, so I can't finish that film, so I did Hush Baby instead. So that is the next film I'll be working on. It's I've came up with the storyboards, backgrounds is still in process, so I'm in animation process. Hopefully to be done soon.
Okay. Yes, we have a question.
For Kissing Faces, did you write the script yourself? And then so the translation for the subtitles, you did that also?
I had my group, yeah, really help out because I don't understand Mandarin. Yeah.
So you wrote it in English and then they translated it into English?
Yeah, correct.
So the subtitles were written by you?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Any pressing? Anyway, filmmakers will be around, you know, and can come forward and ask them any questions, you know, in person. Okay, thank you for coming to this installment of Shortcuts. Hope to see you tomorrow, the last installment.